Last week on Pokemon Cooked League, Bruno's HIIT program was taken to school by the Sinister's last respecting Basket Legion, while Woman was able to overwhelm the Heat Train of Justice with spread moves from Iron Treads and Vikavolt. Will Woman be able to handle Bruno's HIIT program mansplaining? Welcome to the final match of Week 3. We have Women versus Bruno's HIIT program, and I look at each side's Mons, and this looks like another just kind of like almost basically hard trick room, and then like Iron Treads is really the only fast. You got and then with like Iron Treads and Halucha for some speed control, just in case things go strange here. So yeah, because like you see like the Ogerpon, the Tornadus, and the Flygon, the Raikou. These are all faster than most of the field, if not like almost all of the field. So getting up Trick Room or stopping Trick Room or stalling out Trick Room is going to be pretty important here. And I think, let's see, and there's a couple ways to deal with Trick Room for Bruno's HIIT program. Bronzong does know the move Imprison. So you can imprison Trick Room, that is one option. But if you like imprison Trick Room with Bronzong, then you're in a spot where, you're what's coming out with the Bronzong. Like if you see Trick Room set up, you're probably gonna see like the Armor Rouge, and then you get risk getting hit by a fire move. It could be heat proof, but it could also very well easily be levitate here. And then I think the biggest mon for the Bruno's HIIT program this match is going to be the Suicune. There's no grass or electric type attack. Well, I guess the Vikavolt is a problem, but you can click Snarl, which will actually not do will actually do not terrible damage against a lot of these against the dark weak mons. You can stall a Trick Room by just like keep on clicking Snarl with your super Pokemon, decreasing the damage output. And then against the physical attackers, you can click Scald and you can attempt to burn the super effective against Iron Treads, and then you're just so bulky that can easily live moves from the other physical attackers here too. And then I do think the Vikavolt is on the other side is going to be pretty important here, just for the fact that it is the easiest way for you to hit the Suicune here. And then you also just like electric type stab is also, you can also maybe snipe a Tornadus and then like bug, and then you can do some like good neutral damage to the Bronzong and the Ogerpon here. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see some sort of Indeedee Armor Rouge leak to try to get the Trick Room up, and I wouldn't mind leading Suicune at all here, just so I can start getting the Snarls off early and start being annoying. Another good thing about Snarls that follow me you don't care if he follows me is if you're clicking spread moves. Okay. So we actually do see the exact opposite, where we see the Halucha with a burden here. A burden doubles your speed when you consume an item, and then with the Psychic Seed, you also get the special defense boost. So Halucha, not known for its bulk, but now because of the Psychic Seed, it has become a lot bulkier and super, super fast here. And the Indeedee can, and what is this Halucha gonna do? That's the big question here. Is it just gonna be a bunch of follow me's from Indeedee while the Halucha tries to set up? Or is it gonna be something else here? With the Psychic Terrain, priority no longer, priority attacks don't really work, meaning they don't at all. I don't think that's gonna really matter here. I just noted that out because I just remember the Flygon is in the Halucha are both in the air, so that effect doesn't actually, like a lot of these monsters are in the air, so that might not even come into effect because if you're in the air, the Psychic Terrain multipliers don't even exist. Okay, and we could see that you could see that Bruno's HIIT program had a similar way of thinking than I did about the potential about intentionally imprisoning Trick Room here, but Bronzong is such a good just eats those psychic type moves so well, only taking 8%, and it's definitely bulky enough to take anything Halucha does here too. So that's always nice, but unfortunately you didn't see Trick Room at all. You actually saw the opposite, Tailwind. and Expanding Force. I don't know if Bronzong gets Expanding Force, but if you got that in prison, that would be pretty huge here too. And I just don't think this Flygon's in a very safe spot. So like, what do you switch in for the Flygon? Or do you just decide to sack it here? Like Suicune, he'd probably take Expanding Force probably is decently well, but you don't want to be like, getting in and sending it in, taking Expanding Force, it being slower than anything, taking another Expanding Force, another attack. Like that doesn't feel great either. So again, a lot of this depends on whether Expanding Force got imprisoned here or not. Oh, that's a big miss. And this is actually let's see, that high jump kick, that you did a lot of recoil yourself from because you missed that move, which is really unfortunate here. And you know, you missed a good amount of damage against the Bronzong. The Bronzong still would have easily lived. Bronzong's just so bulky, but you did miss a lot of damage. More importantly, you hurt yourself. And what funny thing is that you went from imprisoning Trick Room to getting up your own Trick Room, and now you use the tail. Now the Tailwind is now being used against Woman here, which is I don't think that was what he intended when he first sent out the leads, but it's a good adaptation for what he saw here. And seeing Rock Slide to do 18 to both Mons, I can't say that this Flygon's currently impressing me right now, but well, maybe it has something else up its sleeve to actually contribute to the battle a little bit more. Maybe you could actually get Rock Slide flinches now, because now of Trick Room Tailwind shenanigans. And we see how this thinking of this Bronzong here is that we're seeing Nightshade as an attack. You know, this makes me think this Bronzong was built to be as bulky as humanly possible and invest into literally nothing else. And because you don't have like a consistent attack, the Hawlucha actually could survive another turn, because the Nightshade just does not do enough here. And I don't really know about this protecting this Flygon here. Like, I guess it kept it living from getting blown up by Expanding Force, but I don't really think it's helping you progress here. You know, if you clicked Rock Slide, you would have KO'd the Hawlucha assuming it connects, had a chance to flinch the Indeedee assuming it connects, and I just don't see how much more this Flygon's really doing with stalling it out like this. I guess you can like now I'm now also worried about this Bronzong just not having an attack to hit Indeedee at all here. Maybe it has another attack, but I don't know, because Nightshade gets the normal type is not a fun recipe here. Oh, and we get the Rock Slide flinch. You know, you could have just... And with the... Seeing the... Oh, we do see all four moves. Yeah, so we do see the... We do see that the Bronzong just is actually hard-walled by a DD here. And that's the reason why we see Protect, because there's no reason for it to be just left out like that. Assuming the Rock Slide connects. And the Rock Slide getting a flinch, keeping the Flygon alive for another turn here. But that is the end of Tailwind here. So now we get the Trick Room back up. Now the Trick Room is just upping, and now the Flygon is going to be the one going last here. So again, this Trick Room Tailwind shenanigans has been very, very unique on just how it's been playing out here. And you know, this Armarouge is probably built to be as slow as humanly possible, because that's what we've seen it be sent out before, especially in this Indeedee Armarouge core here. So I don't know if it's going to be slower than Bronzong. I imagine the Bronzong was also built to be really slow, to be a counter Trick Room on, but I guess we'll find out here. And I don't know how a prison works when the, what's it called? Oh, wait. That doesn't really matter, I guess. Never mind. I'll talk about it if that comes up. Yeah, we just see the clicking attacks here. Makes total sense. And, you know, you just have a chance. There's really not really another play to make here. Able to take out the Flygon. Psychic Terrain's about to run out, assuming this isn't Terrain Extender, and it is, so never mind here. And we do see the Tornadus here. Tornadus does get knockoff, so you do have a way to threaten these mons pretty efficiently. And I don't think Nightshade procs weak armor. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. So I don't know. We don't have information what ability it is. But I have to imagine it's Flashfire because, again, this seems the hard Trick Room set up here. So afterwards here, you gotta find a way to get Trick Room back up again probably, or else you're probably just gonna get overrun. You know, like let's say like the your ways of Trick Room run out. Like does an Ogerpon Heartflame just kind of just Ivy cudgel everything to death here? Probably. And then so you gotta find a way to get up Trick Room again soon once it expires. You could double protect to try to start the last turn of Trick Room if you are. I mean, you also are imprisoned. So that's the Indeedee here. So that also can make things a bit fuzzy here, but I don't think you want to double protect here. I think you want to start like putting in the start putting on pressure, start trying to get rid of these monsters that can actually threaten you to win the game. Like, the last thing you want is him pivoting way out and squirming his way to get a Trick Room back up after a while. I think just setting your foot on the gas here is the best thing to do. And we do see double expanding force here to try to take out this Tornadus, but not going to be enough. And we do see a weakness policy proc. Weakness policy probably is big if you could somehow if you could protect the Armor Rouge, which you do for at least a little bit with Follow Me here, or you could even try to protect it and then have the other Indeedee try to pick off the rest of these mons. So maybe I was wrong in the assessment of of the double protect here. I'm not wanting to double attack, but Tornadus might not even be able to do such a thing. So yeah, I do wonder if something like a Snarl from Suicune can peck off the Armor Rouge here. I think that would be that would be really great if it does, so you can get around the Follow Me here. And let's see, you can also Bleak Wind. And another way to get around Follow Me here is just clicking Bleak Windstorm. It is a rough click to do for a couple reasons. One, it can miss, and two, the Armor Rouge could theoretically wide guard. I don't think it would wide guard here, but it's definitely something you have to worry about. And then if it does wide guard, you can the Bronzong can finish it off with the Nightshade here. So I think just hoping, you gotta just hope the Bleak Windstorm connects, I think, is your best bet here. And then if it does, you're in a really good spot if you're Bruno's hit program. And I'm not really sure what you can really do if you're on the other side here, if you're woman. Like, because again, the rest of your team is going to be slower than this Tornadus. So, like, I mean, Iron Treads isn't like a horrible, it's like not a bad switch in, but the Armor Rouge and Indeedee are so much better when they're out at the same time. So, like, then, like, how are you going to get that dance going? It's really rough. Okay, and we don't in fact see the Dark Pulse. I mean the Bleak Windstorm. Dark Pulse is more accurate, so I fully understand going for it. I do think the Bleak Wind... It's tough to say. I do think Bleak Windstorm was better here, though. because it does play around potential follow me. And then like if the follow me happens and you get heat wave, then you're kind of then you may be in trouble here. But is able to take out the Armor Rouge, which is nice here. And I think it's a good time to send the Ogerpon. Ogerpon would be faster than everything here, assuming there's no choice scarf or a booster speed here. But I guess that's possible. And then you can start Ivy cudgeling things. Yeah, and I think Gallade is the best option just because it just doesn't get one-shot by Ivy Cudgel here. So I think this is the correct call for women here. With another turn of Psychic Terrain, maybe what's that Psychic type move can be able to sneak in a KO here. So I wouldn't mind I think this is a good turn to double protect because it's the last turn of Psychic Terrain. So you can stop getting that damage boost here. Maybe you don't have to double protect. You could just Spiky Shield with Ogerpon. And then have the Bronzong attack to start chipping down the Gallade. I think that's pretty good. I think that's a pretty good thing to do here. And another good thing is you get some extra chip damage with the Spiky Shield, and with the Nightshade. Yep, you bring it low enough to where you can confidently say the Ivy Cudgel will in fact KO. This is a very good call here. And we see Sacred Sword instead, which is not as powerful as the as the Psychic type move. Maybe not running it. I don't know. But yeah, Ivy Cudgel will definitely KO the Gallade here. Oh, the real thing you have to worry about is there's still Follow Me, which is a thing. But so the two things you have to worry about, which would be Follow Me and this is Scarf and it crits. But I think, but then you just keep chipping this down with the Gallade here, and I think you'll be fine for the rest of the game. I think you have what it takes to win at this point. Wow, that hit hard. That looks like band damage to me. But banded not enough to KO. You did dodge the crit. And actually, trying to Ivy Cudgel the Indeedee. I don't know if it can't you do know about it's what it does a bit more. And with the Imprison, that might be a reason why you were scared of potential protect from the Gallade. But I was just not. I guess you were potentially scared of Trick Room, so I guess that actually does make sense. Yeah, okay, I could definitely see it now. And especially because it ended up being banned and not Scarf. Yeah, I think this makes sense. And man, this Bronzong has been on the field for forever, man. It's been on the field since turn 1, never switched out. It's gonna be turn 10. You know, Ivy Cudgel can KO whatever Mon he chooses. It's possible that the Vikavolt is Focus Sash, so that could be something you may want to consider on which one to Ivy Cudgel here. I don't think that's really that big of a deal, because then you send in Suicune. That's gonna be faster. You chip it down. Yeah, I think you just target the Vikavolt. I guess that then you're also protecting. Again, that's fine. I think I wouldn't mind double protecting here. Actually, I like doing that the best. I like double protecting because it scouts out for potential protects, and the Ogerpon gets the final say on what to hit first, anyways. That's what I like. Or he can just go balls to the wall and realize he's not going to protect, and that should do it. The Suicune Plus is going to be able to just keep on scolding the Iron Treads until it is KO'd. The Iron Treads probably can't even really touch the Bronzong. Maybe it has knockoff. Oh no, it is heat proof. Okay. At least it has something, but yeah. You're gonna need let's see, Earthquake. Yeah, not even a crit KOs here. And the Raikou should be faster. And also Life Orb chip. That's true. That's also true. So that is a W for Bruno's hit program. I think that was pretty well done. I liked his ability to adjust to what was given to him and not forcing things. He's like, oh, I imprisoned Trick Room. You know, it's like, stop Trick Room, stop Trick Room. And then he saw Tailwind. And he's like, actually, I actually want Trick Room instead. So, was able to take advantage of that. You know, that Bronzong just kept on chipping things down. Just kept on being annoying. You know, there was definitely some bad luck on the side of women, missing that high jump kick, missing a good amount of chunk on the Bronzong, and losing half your HP on a 10% outcome. That's unfortunate, but that's the risk of running high jump kick over something like close combat or just another standard fighter type move. But that does it for me, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.